He has had an adventurous career all over the world, and he's here today to expose you through his experience to the multiple career paths you can take as a veterinary professional. He's a great and a personal friend and a great friend to the college. We're so thankful that he's available with us, to be available to speak with us today and give us a presentation on his adventures in primate and marine mammal medicine. So I know you all are on mute, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a big hand for you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him take it away. Thank you so much, Dr. Kooriyama.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to talk today. Yeah, here I'm talking about my previous research and also ongoing research here. Yeah, but especially for wild animals. So I will already introduce my career, so I don't want to take long here. But before I'm vet school, I interested in wild animal rescue or conservation. So I chose to enter the vet school, and during the vet school, some person advised me to learn more about the infectious diseases to get a job in such a wildlife organization or something related to that. So I studied about virus in the graduate school. After doctoral course, I joined the Kyoto University Great Ape Research Project as a postdoc, and in that project, I studied the great ape zoonotic diseases between, especially between a human and apes, great apes. After that project, I got a position near Rakuno University, Hokkaido, Japan, and I added marine mammal research to chimpanzee research. Okay, today this topic is two, and first I wanted to talk about the marine mammal research first. Okay, this is a map, and USA here, and the Japan is here. So Japan is located in the west end of Pacific Ocean, and also are surrounded by the sea. And around Japan, Japanese islands, around Japanese island, there are two type of current, here and here, and these currents, hot water and warm water, and these two currents are cold water. And so meeting points of those currents is a very good points for fishing area. And here there's no warm current, but this place is also a good fishing point. And so my current living place is here, Hokkaido, and there's two most popular marine mammals migrate to every year to Hokkaido. So first is Pacific white-sided dolphins, and the other one is Steller sea lions, like this. And the dolphins come to Hokkaido in spring, but on the other hand, sea lions come in winter. And first, I want to talk about Pacific white-sided dolphins. And next. As I said, the Pacific white dolphins migrate to Japan, and this is a route of them. In spring, they migrate from south to north, and there's another large group who is living in the Pacific Ocean. They come like this. And this is a place where I'm studying about these dolphins. And when they come around the Hokkaido, they eat several sizes of sardines and squid, especially around shallow waters. And about dolphins, there are several research topics, but today I'd like to show you some data that are related to dolphins' vocalizations. Here I show you 3 types of dolphins vocalization. And first one is this is a sonogram of dolphins sound. They're quite different. And the first one is, we call it echolocation clicks. I'm sorry, I couldn't prepare the sound, but I can show you the next one, which call it burst pulse. So, oh, I can't do that. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry, I can't play it, but okay. Next one is whistle. This is very common for and famous dolphins vocalization. And okay, next. The dolphins use a burst pulse and echolocation clicks often, and with using detecting the burst pulse sound, we try to count the occurrence of dolphins in this area. I call here Shakotan. It's a peninsula of this area, and in here we installed the hydrophone and recorded continuously in this area. As shown in here, this is a date, April to June. This is a frequency. So from this figure, you can see the dolphins visit Shakotan area, not every day, but repeatedly. Okay. Okay, next I show you the frequency of detected dolphins call in a day. We introduced the 2 hydrophones here. This is Shakotan Peninsula. And as a result, we can see the, like this shape of the sound. So which means they visit this area, but they don't stay longer. So they move somewhere and come back, somewhere and come back like this. Okay. So I just showed a piece of results. So maybe the other time I can show some more data, but I want to skip the data and move on to the sea lions. Oh, before that, I'm sorry, I forgot to show you some video of Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh. This one. Okay. I saw.
That's beautiful.
Okay, I want to change the video. Oh, sorry. Okay, I want to show another one. Students are helping my research. This is one of the best timing that dolphins are swimming just side of boats. So my students are very happy to see that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. I want to continue about talking about the sea lions. Here now I'm showing maps and where the sea lions located in the summer. And yeah, of course, still sea lions are living in northern part of Pacific Ocean. So here, now showing the habitat of Asian stock of sea lions. So this area is a Russian area, and this is Hokkaido. So and in summer they breeding in Russian offshore, and so this is one of the breeding points. We call it rookery, and all of these are not still sea lions. Most of them are fur seals, and just only here is a still sea lions. The colors are different, and in here, still sea lions forms Harlem. So only some dominant male can form a Harlem, and with about 10 female still sea lions. Okay, next. The same maps. In winter, in this area, something covered the ocean. So, do you know what it is? This is drift ice. So like this, you can walk in the drift ice. And so because of this, sea lions can't live in winter anymore here. So they have to, you know, migrate to the south. So we can meet sea lion in winter in Japan, in Hokkaido here. There are several research topics about the sea lions, but I show you the research on occurrence rate of them. This is a map of Otaru Bay in Hokkaido. You can see because it's small island here, so we call it Todo-Iwa. And this place is very close to the mainland, so you can observe the or count the sea lion on the rock. This is rock in summer. In winter, they rest on the rock. And so I and my students count it every day. And count it, and the calculate the ratio of usage of this area, this rock. And this figure shows the attendance of the sea lions. And this dark area is a night, and blue one is attendance of sea lions. After calculation, 70% of the day, they use this rock in the from January to the March, and so most of the time they rest in this rock, even in the night. Normally they spend hunting in the night in the Russian area, but in here Hokkaido, they normally sleep in the night. Okay, and I also study on the behavior of sea lions, but I skip these ecologies, and I want to show you some other videos. Yes. Hold on a second. Okay. Now I'm in the boat and preparing for diving in the winter. Okay, I'm almost going to dive in. Okay, this is the same rock I showed the slide. Okay, let's go. So under the sea, sea lions are quite different from that sea in the land, because of the pressure. Their body is much more thin, and when I meet them under the sea, I count the number and also identify which is male, which is female, and also measure the group size and also behavior under the sea. So we can observe many things under the sea. sometimes I play with them, but sorry, this video is a little bit rough, but this is it's very fun and if you meet the sea lion and the sea, it's very exciting and because the adrenaline, I don't feel cold. So normally it's very cold. The water temperature is about 4. That's okay. Okay, let's go back to my slide. Okay. Okay, I'm going to speak about next topic, about chimpanzee research. After joining a Great Ape research team, I was called to Tanzania for this is because an endemic like this occurred in the Mahale Mountains National Park in Tanzania, and this research team is composed by the Kyoto University researchers, and they there are some very famous researchers there, and that team have a variety of research field in Africa and also Asia and also South America. And okay, and in this epidemic, they said that 20% of chimpanzees died for this heavy cold, and so somebody need to figure out what is the cause of these epidemics. Okay, now I show you. and chimpanzee alofu sneezing. After sneezing something from nose, but yeah, very severe cold. Normally we can't see like this. Okay. Okay. Now I show you where is the Mahale Mountains National Park is. This is Africa, and here Indian Ocean. This side is I forgot that in English, but anyway.
Atlantic.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, and this is Tanzania, and the Mahale Mountains National Park is located in the west end of Tanzania, and it's by the Lake Tanganyika. Here's the Lake Tanganyika, This Lake Tanganyika is a part of African Rift Valley, African Rift Valley here. So, departing this area from Africa mainland. And yeah, Lake Tanganyika is the second deepest lake in the world. And also here, this Gombe Stream National Park is famous for Jane Goodall's research. So a little bit, not far from Jane's National Park. And here I talk about a little bit about chimpanzee in Mahale. In Mahale National Park, it is estimated that over 700 chimpanzees are living, and among that, only M group chimpanzees are very friendly to people. So Kyoto University research team name on it. And so most of all of them had a name. And the Yamaguchi chimpanzee consists of 60 that male or female or young adult, adolescent or juvenile or infant chimpanzees. And chimpanzee society is male dominant, and female chimpanzees often move to the other group when they growing up to the right timing. I mean, about just a younger age, ready to mate or something like that. Okay, let's dive in the research in Mahale. It's a kind of virus hunting in the bush. In Mahale, the team have to find the cause of disease in chimpanzees. Chimpanzees cold. The symptoms are quite similar to the human common cold. And but we need some genetic analysis or some other thing to find some virus or cause of bacteria. But we don't have enough facility in there because we don't have no electric. We have a solar panel, but we don't have enough thing to do. So we send samples to the CDC, and so they help us to find a cause of the chimpanzee's flu. And they send some results. And do you know what is this virus? This is not corona. This is a human metapneumovirus. And this is very new virus. This first report was 2000. And but I think we believe this virus originated there among the people. And so now we know what was the cause of the chimpanzee flu. And after that, fortunately, the epidemic has settled. So in there, I have nothing to do. So I look for what I can do next. So a little bit cold here. decided to do parasitology. So I collected many fecal samples and checked the microscope, and I found some zoonotic parasites. Of course, I checked genetically in Japan, but yeah, I found this one. Do you know this one? And this is this Strongyloides species. And interestingly, I found from I found two type of Strongyloides, and one is non-human primate Strongyloides. It's mean chimpanzee Strongyloides, and the other one is human Strongyloides. We call it circularis, and from human, I found chimpanzee Strongyloides, and from chimpanzee also, yeah, of course, from chimpanzee, yeah, we had chimpanzee Strongyloides, but this chimpanzee have human Strongyloides also. So people in Mahale exchange Strongyloides. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I checked his samples anyway. Okay. Okay. This and the research in Mahale finished and coming back to Japan. And in Japan, I thought I can do something in Japan, so I tried to survey the captive chimpanzee in Japan. It's a good reference to the wild chimpanzees. And I, according to the serological surveillance, I detected 29 antibodies against the human pathogens. I checked 62 human pathogens, but yeah, half of them and the chimpanzees will have a history of infection. And so it's a great finding, and you're surprised, but and so in the result, as you see here, this one is the same virus that we found in the Mahale. So this virus is very easy to infect to the chimpanzees. And the other viruses or bacteria are also common in human, and these are very, how to say, airway infectious diseases. So, you know, aerosol infection could be occurred between human and chimpanzees. So from these results, so we have to be careful in Mahale. This is a picture that a long time ago, the distance between chimpanzees and tourists, this is one researcher, you know, very close. So it probably, and that the virus or something, agent can transmit from human to the chimpanzees very easily. So we need the, you know, social distance. And after that, the staff in the Mahale Mountains National Park, they introduced new rules for chimpanzee ecotourism. So everybody have to wearing a mask, keep distance, and the number of groups per day maximum is 3, and each group have 6 people, and also only one group can watch the chimpanzee at the same time, and some other funny thing here. Okay, so almost the end, but I want to show some interesting videos some more time. Okay, now here. Okay, this is Darwin, and now he is fishing ants. He's very good at fishing ants. The most important thing when they fish is fishing rod. I don't know the differences, but yeah, fishing rod is very important to fish ants. These ants are quite big, and so people shouldn't touch them, but chimpanzees okay. Yeah, sometimes he don't use rods. Okay, I'm to show the next one. Maybe this one is interesting. So it's the same. Darwin, he's making bed. And also he tearing the leaves. This is very interesting. This is another male. Why he's making bed and tearing the leaves is because so her hip is swallowing. This means she's in estrus. So Darwin and the other chimpanzees wanted to mate. So they make beds and making beds and also tearing the leaves for attracting her. Okay, I show you one more. She's a Xantip. Now she's playing with stones and also sand. She's playing by herself. It's very similar to human child, At this moment, she is about 4 or 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't a chimpanzees that they're grooming each other. Grooming is very important for them to remove some fleas or ticks. This is another male. He almost hit me, but unfortunately he didn't slap me, but yeah. Okay, this. All right. Okay, there's a lot of interesting videos I have, but because of time, I cannot show you all. But yeah, it's really interesting when observing chimpanzees. It's very, yeah, their behavior is very similar to human. They can also use the tools. That's a very interesting point, and also they do politics. So it's one of a interesting point, and yeah. Okay, so okay, yeah. In the end, I want grateful to the colleague of my research and also my students. Yeah, they like to go field work with me, and yeah, they're all time they are really enjoying on the boat. So yeah, if somebody visit Japan in my university, I can take you to show the my research, especially sea lions or dolphins. Okay.
That's awesome, Dr. Kooriyama. Thank you so much for this presentation.
You're welcome.
We're gonna open it up so I'm gonna take the spotlight off, move it to gallery mode, and then we're gonna open it up for questions. And I guess as you can type your questions or you can ask them with the microphone. I wanted to ask you a question in terms of just the breadth of your research interest and just your research just in general. How did you decide to go into this route? So you graduated with your DVM. How did you end up in marine mammal and primate medicine?
Yeah. Yeah. Originally, I interested in wild animals, and so yeah. Yeah. I went to Africa during my vet school days, and I met many persons in there, and also I met a veterinarian in Africa, and he said that you should have some specialty that I'd say good for getting job. So I learned biology in the graduate school, and after that, luckily I met a primatologist, and they at the time they I've been looking for a veterinarian who can, you know, study on the chimpanzee diseases. So yeah, it's a good timing to join the Kyoto University team. And so yeah, but you know, when I went to Africa and every day I following chimpanzees, so I, you know, oh what a, you know, chimpanzees behavior is so interesting. And so I, at the time I thought, oh, I wanted to do some more about behavior, I mean, or ecology. So now I, you know, doing both field in animal diseases and also ecology. And after that, when I look for a position, before that I was a postdoc, so it's not you know, stable. So and I got a job in the Rakuno University. In there, I met a local diver, um, and they introduced some interesting marine mammals. So, oh, I also wanted to do. Yeah, with the marine mammals. So yeah.
That's awesome. It's all about who you know and who you bump into along your journey. I think that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a question.
Oh yeah.
Brianna Marie Sanchez, she asks, let me go back up. We got a few questions for you. All right. So she asked, in the last video, was the male showing dominance to the female playing because she was in his territory?
And the last video, the males are how to say, displayed, and this is not toward the young female. It's a kind of routine work for them. And you know, because chimpanzees are dominant, male dominant society, so every time they have to show their power to the others, so they always display by vocalization, and also throwing something or running or making big noise with the huge wood. So yeah, it's not toward the it's not for the protecting the territory.
Okay. Hannah says, regarding the Steller sea lions, how far do they typically travel? And she says, I know there are two different populations, Western and Eastern distinct population segments. Have there been documented intermingling between these populations? So two questions. First one on the traveling, and then the second one on the intermingling.
I forgot the real lengths, but I don't know. Yeah, but from the Russia to the Japan, the distance is about 1,000, 2,000 kilos. So they spent I don't know, a couple weeks to get to the Japan from Russian area. So yeah, the maximum speed of swimming is about 40 kilo per hour. So they can swim quite quick. Yeah, and but yeah, in Japan offshore, they don't swim a long time, because at the at that moment, they can find fishes easily because fishes coming close to the land, and they laying eggs, so they gather. So a lot of fishes gather, so it's very easy for them to catch fishes, so they don't have to swim far. And the western stock and the eastern stock, they genetically a little bit different, and they don't, I mean, share the place. Yeah, it's a they share the ocean area, but they don't share the rookeries or holdout. So I don't know how much they contact each other, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, some researchers branded sea lions skin, so we can figure out this sea lions from this place, but we didn't see the brand from the east side, so they keep the distance between those two stocks.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Dr. Ogata, she has some questions for you as well. So she said in the first question, speaking of the specialty that may be utilized well in wildlife medicine, what are your recommendations of examples for future students? So basically, she has two questions in here. So I guess what skills do you recommend for these students that they need now to kind of, if they want to pursue a field like yours, what skills do they need? I mean, yeah, what specialties can be utilized?
Mm. Yeah, skills. Yeah. In a field like in Africa, sometimes we can use electric. So sometimes we need to detect some pathogens with the genetical technique. And so in Africa, I sometimes I do some interesting technique in there. I extracted the DNA without any electric. So students who want to study in the field, they should get some technique to examine some pathogen without electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had another question. So she said, what are the possible challenges do you think are to in pursuing a career in wildlife medicine, and how can students get over those challenges because of the limited opportunities? How can they best prepare and situate themselves to be wildlife medicine researchers and veterinarians?
Yeah. So because I was lucky to be there, so it's the students should I don't know, to contact with the primatologist or something who is working in the field, yeah, continuously, maybe you can get the chance to, yeah. But yeah, I know it's a little bit difficult to find a job in the wildlife research. Yeah, it's. And another way is how about try to get a job in a zoo or aquarium? So because I often collaborate with the aquarium veterinarian, so they often communicate each other. So the zoo or aquarium veterinarian have a chance to go to the field and spend the time in there, and so maybe they can get an opportunity to do if you get a job in
For those students that are here that are maybe new to the university, we do have a ton of, if you're interested in wildlife medicine and research, we have a ton of opportunities for you right here in the university for you to get some experience in the field in different countries. Like Dr. Kooriyama says, if you're interested and, once this COVID clears up, you can go with him to Japan if you're interested in marine medicine. So there's opportunities out there for research and medicine opportunities if you're interested in wildlife or marine medicine.